What do you find most challenging about being a woman in business?
I think. No, I know.
So what does Hill and Company do?
Analysis, strategy, and growth for diamonds, gemstones, and jewelry businesses only. I went from not knowing anything to learning everything by trying to do stuff I didn't know how to do and getting it wrong.
How do you keep it balanced between professional and personal life? Should we foot race? But I'm kidding. She's very strong. I'm Chae with Carter's Collective. We're here at JCK with Elle Hill from Hill & Co. So what is JCK? I was just asking you, it's like not the largest jewelry show in the world, but one of the most important or the most important.
It's arguably the most important for the American market, and the American market is 50% of the global consumption of jewelry.
So America's 50%.
50% of the world's jewelry is purchased by people in America.
Tell everyone where you live.
Yeah. I live in the UK.
Yeah,
So I have the accent. I'm from New York City, but I live in the UK and I run Hill & Company from the UK.
So what does Hill & Company do?
So we do analysis, strategy, and growth for diamonds, gemstones, and jewelry businesses only. It's all we do. It's all we've ever done. We love it.
What you don't know is Elle is brilliant. 5 years ago, I got asked to be on a panel. I think it was my first panel ever. Yes, it was. And I was like red-faced and sweating and like couldn't remember anything I wanted to say. And everything that came out of Elle's mouth, I was like, I couldn't write anything down. I couldn't take notes. So we went to lunch after, and she thinks we coincidentally sat
we happened to sit next to each other.
But I was like, I'm sitting next to her. So I got there early and waited till she sat and was like, oh, and then I like entered. I was like, oh, hi, how are you? My name's Chae. Oh my God. So anyways, you sounded really smart. Could we be friends? And she does consulting. So I was like, I got to figure out how I can work with you. I know it seemed organic, but it was not. Yeah. I was like.
And I remember we were working with Blue Nile at the time. Who did back then 500 million a year.
Like $500 million hairs.
Yeah. And you were like, can you work with me? And I'm like, at the time you were doing a great business out of one store, but very different level. And but we were working on a mentoring program and and I was like, oh, maybe you can
be the guinea pig.
Do 3 or 4 of you, which is what we did.
Yeah.
And then we kept you.
I love being the guinea pig for anybody. I'm like, you can trial and error on us if we could just do this. Yeah. So we worked together for a couple of years, 2.5 years. Yeah. Pam is her right-hand woman.
Sister.
Yeah, Pam, say hello.
Sir. CEO.
Brilliant, knows everything, everyone. Follow her on LinkedIn if you want to know how to do anything and everything. Like, I cannot
anything
say enough.
Diamond, gemstone, and jewelry. That's it.
Well, even business in general and mindset. I think one of my favorite things about you is your mindset.
Oh.
How positive and smart and like balanced and brilliant. So as a woman in business, it's really cool to work with and know women like Elle. So if you are in business or on your own business, follow her. You're just motivating all the way around.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite part of the jewelry industry?
The people, the community, right? I don't like the city of Las Vegas, but I love to come to the JCK show every year because I see all of the people that I grew up with. I started in the business in 1995.
Oh, wow.
30 years this year that I began.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. That's our 5-year anniversary.
I know. That's exciting.
So I grew up here. I went from, not knowing anything to learning everything by trying to do stuff I didn't know how to do and getting it wrong and getting it wrong and then getting it right and getting it right. So I just love the community.
I feel like too, you can relate. I started at 20. I feel like I grew up in the jewelry industry. Like it like raised me and taught me everything I know about business and relationships and people. So I just feel like this sense of loyalty and like homeness.
Yeah, absolutely. And that everybody's rooting for you.
Yeah.
Basically, and what you notice is what's going to be true. So if anyone's not rooting for you, just pay them no mind.
Yeah.
Everybody's rooting for you. Everybody's trying to figure things out. It's a complex industry, highly fragmented, fraternal, paternal, I might say. So it's challenging.
I don't think people realize too, like how small the jewelry industry is, especially like independents. Like everyone knows each other. I may be in Mississippi, but I just talked to a store from Chicago, have friends like in different states, and like Elle, you're not even in America. And you know what I mean?
I know.
Are you in New York or Florida?
Both.
Oh, both. I can't wait till one day be like, oh, I live in both. Anyways, it's a really small, like tight-knit industry.
Community.
Yeah, it is. It's a community.
And I feel like I'm seeing old friends, and no one's mad that you haven't talked since the last JCK, because this is where we come together, you know. So I love it. The breakfast, the lunch, the cocktail before dinner, the cocktail after dinner. That's what it's about.
Food here. Yeah.
It's less about the food and more about the people that you're eating it with.
Yeah, for sure.
For me.
I have a really good question. What do you find most challenging about being a woman in business?
Okay, I'm going to answer you really honestly, because I'm 53 years old, and so I
Feels like you're 25.
So I've been in the business since I was 23, and I entered when most of the buyers were men. Most of the salesmen were men, and that's dominantly the way still in loose diamonds.
Yeah.
And a woman got the coffee. And this was in 1995. This was in the 1950s, you know?
Yeah.
And could you be remotely attractive and smart? Oh, no, of course not. You know, so it was like I bought fake eyeglasses. I mean, I'm no Giselle Bundchen or whatever, how you spell her name or pronounce it. But you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, I felt like to get the same pay, the same opportunities, I had to work twice as hard, and I had to promote and promote and promote. My self-brand and my marketing that I know at all, I don't run a marketing company, but I understand that if the tree falls in a forest and nobody heard it, it did not fall.
Yeah.
So I had to say, I've developed a roadmap for how we can tell the retailers what they're missing in their assortment. I've developed this, me, you know, this is how I'm making your business earn more money to my bosses, you know what I mean? So I really felt like I had to crawl over the heads of men and do twice as much to get the recognition.
No mistakes, no room for error.
For sure, but I mean, it was like a harbinger of the reason why you really shouldn't be doing this thing that, you know, men do. And I love men, and I learn from men, and I'm not painting anyone with a swath, but it was just the vibe of the industry. I worked for Ofer and Aya Asrilant. They had an entirely, bar two men, female sales force. And we walked into Las Vegas like Charlie's Angels because we were like the only all-female sales team out there. Yeah. And all the men were like, you could feel the heads turning, you know what I mean? And it was weird, but he was right. You know, women were starting to be put into buying roles, you know, and they didn't want to be told what to buy by men. So he started, you know, hiring female salespeople, and it really paid off for that business.
That's a really cool story.
Yeah.
Also, thanks for all your hard work in the industry. So you paved the way for women like me. So my mom, I'm second generation, female founded. So she had kind of a similar experience when she wanted to get into the jewelry industry. You know, women weren't bench jewelers, so they let her sweep the floors, and she had to work her way up to get the chance to be on a bench. And so thankful to you and her, because now we have a place here.
Yeah, yeah. And I have the women before me. I have the Susan Jacques of the world. I have the Phyllis of the world, you know, Phyllis Bergman of the world, who was the first president of the 24 Karat Club in New York City. And I was like, oh, I want to be a woman like that at that stage of my life. And I feel like I have a voice, and I feel like I can say to women, you can be beautiful, you can be 53, and you can be smart as a whip, and you could be the ticket to making someone's business grow more swiftly. And I engender that on my dominantly female team. We now have 2 boys.
Yeah,
you know,
we have 2 boys too, out of 15.
Yeah.
You are very inspiring for me, like the way that you present yourself, and you speak in the industry, and everybody like shuts up in a room when you open your mouth. So it is very inspiring. Just so you know, you are doing a great job in inspiring other people.
That's very kind. It's just because I try and fail, try and succeed, and learned a lot from that. I take a lot of risks.
Fail, get up, fail, get up.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying this is a really good question, but they're all really good questions, but what advice would you give the 20-something-year-old self, your own self?
That is such a good question. Oh my gosh, especially because last Friday I said to Beth, who's like my right-hand project manager for a lot of our strategic initiatives, I said to her, oh my God, we didn't know this on Wednesday. We just learned this from our automation and AI team, who are amazing, by the way. And we're like, we didn't even know you could do that. I'm like, I'm smarter than I was on Wednesday. I was pretty smart on Wednesday, you know? And think about what we learned since January. Like, it's crazy. It's like going back to school, which who wouldn't want to go back? I mean, I love learning. I love growing. So what I wish I could tell my me from 20 years ago is, you are enough. You are enough. You come with the curiosity. You come with the energy. It's not about trying and succeeding. It's about trying and learning. What's the OFI? I would tell my 20-year-old self, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you're going to tell all of your team every time something goes wrong, excellent, we have an OFI. What's the OFI? What's the opportunity for improvement, right?
Yeah.
And then that means we're smarter.
Yeah.
So mess up. I was going to curse there. Mess up.
Are you going to say the F word?
Aim to fail, but don't aim to play the game that you know how to win, because you'll never learn how to do something new.
Yeah.
So don't worry, and you are smart. I didn't know I was smart until I was 45. I mean, I literally did not. I was like, it's probably charm and okay looks, but I was smart, and I wasn't giving myself the credit for it, so give yourself the credit.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been coming into that realization.
You're a friggin' powerhouse, Chae.
Okay.
I'm going to interview you in 20 years with my cane, and you're
You
going to
will
be like,
not have a cane.
I will tell. No, I
She
won't.
will still
I
be
won't.
able
I'll
to
still be
beat me in a
weightlifting.
foot race, I guarantee. Should we foot race? But I'm kidding. She's very strong. I think at 37, I feel really lucky to have women like you, and I've experienced it's okay to fail, be curious, be a forever learner.
Make the decision.
Yeah.
Find out if it's right or wrong. If you don't set the sail, you're never going to find out whether you set it in the right position to catch the wind. So you set it. If it doesn't catch the wind, move the sail.
It's just that it's like, as a woman, it's like we're wired to be so critical of ourselves, and everything has to be perfect before you do anything.
There's
And
no
when I get it
perfect.
all together, I'll do this, or when I'm an expert in this, then I'll help others or say something.
No.
So it's, I feel lucky to, at 37, so everyone in their 20s or early 30s, it's okay, you're enough, be who you are, accept yourself, embrace it, and move forward. Make mistakes.
I have one other thing, which is don't get in your own way.
Yeah.
Don't say I think. Your mouth is the one moving. So it's you who thought it. I think we should, all these
Or
diminishing.
maybe we could, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, but no sorry, no I think. And my team watches me. I'll say, you know what, I think we should. No, I don't think. I know.
Oh, this is good. All right. When I text it recently, I've been taking it out, but now team, when I get back, if anyone says I think, we're like, nope, I know.
No.
But we have started
I know.
in the last 5 or 6 years, somebody says, I'm sorry. There's no apologies.
No.
Stop apologizing for everything all the time.
That's a woman thing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Sorry, there are still some things that are gendered, and that we're breaking down, And so I constantly have to, you will constantly, if you ever see any videos of me, I say, I think, no, I know that this is what we should do based on my experience, based on my 30 years in the industry.
Yeah.
This is what I know.
Yeah, you know a lot.
If I'm wrong, I don't need to be right.
So Pam's shaking her head.
This is another one.
You know a
I'm
lot.
starting a line of mugs. I don't need to be right. I just need to find out what is true.
Yeah.
I don't need to be right. Who gives a damn?
Yeah.
You
Who
know?
really does care?
Look for what's true.
Okay, so Elle, you're married, you have 4 kids, and you run this insane giant company. How do you keep it balanced between professional and personal life?
I have pretty hard lines. I'm very regimented in terms of my schedule. I block out my entire schedule before 11 a.m. Not because I don't start working before 11 a.m., but it's my time to choose whether I do independent work, whether I go to the gym, whether I meet my best friend for coffee, who I meet every Friday up until 11 a.m. I mean, every Thursday up until 11 a.m. So I have a very regimented schedule that says, I'm not available for someone else to Zoom me back to back for 6 hours straight until 11 a.m. And then I block it from 4 p.m. So it's not 6 hours, that's 5 hours, right? For 5 hours straight, sometimes I'm on a back to back to back to back Zoom if I can't get out of it. But I limit that time. And I am the boss of me. So if I want to put something in at 9 because it's important to me and I don't want to wait till another day or week, I can. I never do though. I get up every morning, I have the same routine. I drop my kids off at school, I go to the gym, I lift heavy weights, I come back home, I walk my dog, I have a shower, do the hair and glam, and I eat my breakfast, and then I get on Zoom at 11 a.m. So the schedule.
So hard takeaways, you have non-negotiables, firm boundaries, right?
I'm the only one that's allowed to negotiate.
Yeah. Those are good. And a solid routine.
A solid routine. It's
I've
really
been
solid.
working on my routine. It takes a while to establish. This all takes a very long time to put into place and keep in place.
And the trick is learning that the routine is a framework.
Yeah.
And you can go in and outside of the lines, but you know what the framework is. You know, so it's not rigid, it's flexible, but you have to know what it is. I constantly find myself with a call until 6 because I wanted to do it. I love my job and I wanted to have that call. You know, and on Saturday and Sunday, I do not work. It is very, very, I mean, I want to be present with my husband. I want to see my mother. I want to see my children face to face because when I'm working, I'm all in, right? So once that bell rings, because dinner is ready.
Okay, you got to tell us about the bell thing. Okay, so this is a good non-negotiable firm boundary that you have.
Oh yeah.
So you want to share with us what the bell is that you hear ringing?
So my husband cooks dinner for the family. He does the grocery shopping, the school run, except for the drop off, which I do, and he does all the everything for the family. He is the hub. He makes it work. And one of the things he does is cook dinner. And when the dinner is ready and it's in the plates on the table, because my kids set the table, and when it's down there, one of them has a bell and they go out into the hallway and they ring the bell. So the children in the house know to come down. And so mom knows dinner is hot and on the table. If someone put the effort in to make a hot dinner for you so you could work right until dinner, you say, I'm sorry, I've heard my bell. I have to close down this Zoom right now. You guys can continue and I'll talk to you tomorrow or WhatsApp me if you need something urgently. And I leave. So that's a non-negotiable for me. Yeah. One more? Can I give you one more?
Yeah. Oh, can you give us all of them?
Oh
Are you kidding
God.
me? I'm like glad this is being recorded so I don't have to take notes. I'm very inspired right now to go home, throw my whole life in the trash and start a new routine.
No. You got a lot of good stuff.
I'm getting a bell.
There. On Friday nights, it's the only night where we do not have dinner. Friday and Saturday nights, we don't eat dinner with our children. So it means that there's no bell. And I don't know about you, but for me, that means I just keep working, right? Because I love it. And I don't want to loose end because I know I want to be present on Saturday and Sunday. So I tend to work till 6, 7, sometimes later on a Friday because I want to tie it all up. But once I'm done, I go upstairs and I get in the bath, have a shower, do my hair and makeup. I put on a dress like I'm going out to dinner. I like to dress up. And I go down and my husband and I have a bottle of bubbles and some canapes and nibbles, charcuterie, whatever he puts together. And we sit and we go, so what happened to you this week? And we do that every Friday and Saturday that we're not going out with friends or doing something else. We just sit in our adult room, having adult time.
And you've been married for how long?
23 years.
23 years. Because my husband asks everywhere we go, all the time we see anyone who's been married for longer than 20 years, he's like, okay, marriage advice for people who just got married, go. So
it's a competition of generosity. Try to win.
Oh, he's very competitive. This could work.
Yeah.
Competitive generosity?
Yeah, it's a competition of generosity.
It's a competition of
That's
generosity.
What a marriage is.
That's your 5th coffee mug.
Yeah. I have so many coffee mugs.
We should, all right, so
oh my
pending.
God.
Mugs pending.
Mugs pending.
So, thank you for joining me. While I forgot to mention all this mess is they're putting
crazy.
JCK together.
Tomorrow.
Yes, so it starts tomorrow. We just did a talk. You were the moderator. She asked me to speak with her. It was on what's moving the needle in retail sales in the jewelry industry for 2025. So I appreciate you asking me and doing this interview.
You're welcome.
I went to the Tucson show. So I went to a spa there and they did this thing and I came home and at dinner now we do the acknowledgement game. So it starts with acknowledging yourself because a lot of people forget to remember and acknowledge something that they did great that day. You know, they're always quick to give other people acknowledgements but not themselves first. So
wow.
You acknowledge something you did wonderful today or something great and then you acknowledge the other person. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So I acknowledge myself for being on time and early for the talk. I am very late and time blind, which is a real illness. So I was early and I feel like we did great. And I don't know, I just feel really prepared and confident today.
Excellent.
I acknowledge you for taking the time to do this interview with me because I know you have a lot to do and this has been a really, really busy show. So I acknowledge you and thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I love this. I acknowledge that I'm so entrenched in what I do that I had about 37 minutes to prepare for this talk and read all the questions that you guys sent to me and run it. And I did it, and I think I did a good job. And
That's insane that you did that. I spent 4 days preparing for my answers just in case anyone asks. That's okay. Goals, putting that on my vision board.
But it's not a lack of respect for what I do. I'm acknowledging that I now have the confidence that I know this. So I don't have to devote 4 hours to rehearsing it because it's in my bones.
It comes out of your pores, like you said. You said this information comes out of our pores.
So I acknowledge that I have the background and the experience that I don't have to do homework before I give a talk like that. That's amazing, and I'm proud of me for that.
You should be. That's life goals.
I acknowledge you because you're getting closer to acknowledging the powerhouse you actually are. Like you sat and noticed the things that you adopt and adapt to like a fish. Other people don't do that. I think you're starting to see how special and unique you are as a business runner. So I acknowledge you saying, I'm kind of like a marketeer that sells jewelry because you're in the media business and you got the memo and you understood the assignment.
Thanks.
So I acknowledge you for understanding the assignment.
This is so sweet. We understood the assignment.
We did.
So thank you for joining us. We're now going to go look at a bunch of beautiful jewelry. Go see all the education. Thank you, JCK, for having both of us.
Thank you, Chae, for having me.
Thank you.